Okay, what's up, guys? Zach here. I know it's called football. Just want to talk about a couple things. Somewhat of a short video here, I think. Obviously, about the Spurs game, the loss to Spurs on Sunday. Look, I couldn't really watch it. I was at work. I watched 15 minutes of the second half. So it's hard for me to really give an opinion on the game itself, other than obviously it was a loss, another loss in a preseason. I think that's three. So we've lost three. I don't know, five games. I'm not sure what it is, but probably one of the worst preseasons we've had in quite a while. Um, yeah, from the 15 minutes I saw of the second half, we looked okay. I guess again, it's too hard to say, so I'm not gonna hover on this game too much. What I will say is the goal we conceded was just seemed, I don't want to say typical, because our defense last year seemed to straighten itself out, and obviously I think that's credit to the manager and the coaching staff. But as someone who was, not that I praise Pablo Mari, but I thought he was been pretty solid for us. Maybe not the most pacey, but seems to make up for it with smart tackles and the way he reads the game. But I don't know what he was doing, fishing for a foul. Obviously, he looks smart and as to not want to um, clip the Spurs player's legs. But then he just toppled. I can't understand what goes through the head of people, of players who do that. Um, you're just hoping for a foul, and even Nicolas Pepe threw his arms up as he watched Son. Uh, One touch, and then I don't know where he was running, like Forrest Gump. He just looked like he was running off the pitch. And Son, he's a brilliant player. I mean, he was never going to miss that. And again, I can't say too much about the game. Unfortunately, because I couldn't watch it, but the glimpses of Ben White, he looked decent. More than decent, I should say. He looked pretty promising. Um, Based off of videos I've watched, usually, I would say mostly, excuse me, some people from AFTV and Twitter, people like Charles Watts. Uh, just generally, people seem to be pretty fond of Ben White so far, and I've only got to see him, once, even apart from the Spurs game. So I would imagine he starts against Brentford. And speaking of new players, there's no way I see El Neni, excuse me, starting over Lakonga after what I think was a pretty good performance from him. Again, it's hard to say. You have to take my word with a bit of salt, obviously, but I was able to watch like a highlight reel of his touches and his passes, and again, he just looks a smart player. When touches the ball, he seems to always have time and space. So that's always promising to see. Anyway, moving on from the Spurs game. Um, for the most part, I think in terms of transfers and how things are looking, I think there's only about 3 weeks left until the window shuts, and here we are spending almost 100 million on three players, 50 for a defender that perhaps we didn't need. Again, great player, surely will make us better defensively, but um, it just seems like we're missing a player, like a goalkeeper. I mean, we need another goalkeeper. Obviously, Runason isn't the key, and negotiations apparently broke down. He was supposed to move to some club in Turkey. I apologize, I'm not sure what the club was. Um, and here we are. I remember opening Twitter and saying that Leno was injured, and I'm not sure what the challenge was exactly, and my heart like stopped. I mean, what are we meant to do if he does get injured? Um, so I'm not sure what's going on. We have no backup goalkeeper. Realistically, we don't have a backup goalkeeper. Um, we need that creative attacking midfielder. If Joe Willock is going to Newcastle, I think the fee's around 20-25 million. Then maybe that, the purpose of the sale is to fund something like James Madison, or pay up for Odegaard and give Real Madrid what they want, because that's a player I would take. Honestly, I'm not really sure James Madison is worth 60 or 70 million. And again, it comes down to, I think Charles Watts actually made this point, which is an excellent point about giving Leicester what they need in terms of a transfer amount. Just what it would cost, and even if Arsenal try to lighten that up with a player. I mean, his point is who would they really want? I mean, they're so smart in the way they do business, and a player like Maitland Niles, who I've said this all along that I don't know why he's not up for this opportunity at right back. I mean, we've seen him do well, extremely well, certainly above uh, Bellerin. I know Chambers has done pretty well there too, but he's more. I mean, they're both makeshift right backs, but I would take Maitland Niles. I think over Callum Chambers, based on his peak form. I think last year, perhaps the year before that. Um, um, and it's just strange to me that he hasn't taken this opportunity. But that's besides the point. I mean, I don't even know if that's a player Leicester would be interested in. It's like you can't. I wouldn't call a player like that an Arsenal reject. Of course, I'm not quite sure what the word I would use is, but would they want him? I mean, would he want to go to a team where? I mean, is he going to get in the midfield there for Leicester? I mean, I'm not quite sure he would. Um, so it's difficult, man. I don't really know what Arsenal are doing in this transfer market, and we have spent, but it doesn't seem like it's been enough so far. Certainly a goalkeeper, right? Like I said, that's so important. We don't have this attacking threat, especially based off of the form of Aubameyang, and I know Lacazette hit the post, and he just seems more threatening. So for me, I think I'm getting a little sidetracked here, but there's no way you can start Aubameyang against Brentford. I'm sorry, but I just bring him on as a substitute. He can have much more of an impact. Fresh legs, especially against Brentford, they're going to be so hungry, and I just don't know if he's going to do the job defensively that he can, and even scoring goals. I know he beat whoever it was, Hoiberg or whatever. He dribbled past them, and it's just not enough. I mean, fans I saw on Twitter were drooling over it and their jaws were dropping, and it's so what? I mean, he hasn't scored a goal all of preseason. This is our main talisman, the captain of Arsenal Football Club, and he's not scoring goals, and he's getting into chances. And I'm not even trying to slate the guy. I love Aubameyang, but it just is not working right now, and it's going to take some balls to drop him, but that might be what it takes. It seems like now, just in regards to strikers, Tammy Abraham, obviously Arsenal were interested in, is most likely going to Roma. All of a sudden, Roma find this 40 million that they're willing to pay to Chelsea for Abraham. And the last I read, he was going to think about his options, and Arsenal is still interested. But look, for 40 million, I'm sorry, but you can't give Chelsea for 40 million, especially for a striker, especially when we're so lacking this attacking threat in the midfield. Like, you can't. Emil Smith Rowe is not. He can't be the only answer. Saka can play there, I suppose, also, but you can't have these two kids, as great as they are, carrying this football club for another season. It's just not going to work unless we want to finish mid-table, 8th place, and be completely complacent. It's just not going to work. So it comes down to Edu and how much money this football club is willing to spend to get out of these. It's not even a slump. It's just become regular. And so, we need an answer, and surely that answer is a goalkeeper, at least another backup goalkeeper, and attacking threat in the midfield. Again, speaking on just quickly about strikers, Lautaro Martinez. There's no way. Again, this is just one of those transfers. It just doesn't seem like it's going to happen now, especially with Lukaku. He's going back to Chelsea. I haven't seen anything that would say otherwise. I think Fabrizio Romano had a tweet, I think, right before I made this video about how there's no issues. He's going to be in London later tonight to sign his contract. So, I mean, there's no way they sell both of their main strikers. I don't see it. I don't think people really are going to disagree with that. And obviously, I've seen also Spurs are they seem to be in the market for a new striker. Who knows? I suppose it depends on if Harry Kane leaves or not. But you know, if he goes to Spurs, I don't know. I mean, he seems too good for Spurs, and but so is Kane, and so is Son. So it is what it is. Um, Now, just to kind of get off of not get off of Arsenal, but I want to talk about a player, an American, just moved to Marseille from Barca, actually, Conrad de la Fuente. I want to put this on record because I said the same thing about Christian Pulisic a couple years ago before he went to Chelsea when he was at Dortmund. Um, this was a player I wanted, and I think he sort of broke the mold of Americans not being good enough. And yeah, you've had Americans play overseas like Dempsey and Bradley and a couple other players. Obviously, Tim Howard is at Manchester United, but it seemed to me more of a not as many Americans now. Obviously, Josh Sargent just moved to Norwich, which I think is a great move for him as an American. But like I want to say, maybe 2 years time, Arsenal can go in for this guy because I think he is perfectly fit for the Premier League. Um, Already got an assist in their first game for that comeback. I think they were down 2-0. They ended up winning 3-2. Just a great run. I mean, direct. He's quick, and I just see that pace being. He reminds me of Martinelli actually. Just brave, quick, and knows where to put the ball when he gets in that final third. So just put that on record. That's a player I'd like to see at Arsenal, not just because I'm American, but because I do watch a lot of U.S. international players. I have a lot of these guys on my radar, so maybe I'll make a video about that one day. Americans I like to see at Arsenal. I'll make an American Arsenal FC starting 11. Anyway, that's it. I said it was going to be a short video, but it's about 12 minutes now. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And if you liked it, like the video or not, do whatever the hell you want. And yeah, see you next time.